because I think I finally got it to work. Can't get Streamlabs working for some reason. Forgive my whining and complaining. But it's not like we haven't done this 100 times before. So thank you for joining. Especially those of you who tried and tried and tried and tried. See the sunset, but unfortunately not over Niagara Falls. There's no such thing. It comes from the opposite direction. But it'll give an interesting look to what we're doing right now. And then, hopefully, Just Jason Keto's premiere did well. Forgive me for not being in it while I was setting up for this. And our dear friend Michael's Adventures has a premiere right afterwards as well. About 50 minutes from now, something like that. So thank you for hanging out. It's been a while since I've been out. I tried to go the other day and again just couldn't get the tried to hook up the GoPro. I'm struggling these days, but it's been so many months, as most of you know. Even misplaced my gimbal since the last time I've used it. I had to use Kristen's. I have an Osmo 4. Hopefully I'll find it one day. But I'm using Kristen's Osmo 5 for today. Stock Explorer, good to see you here. Pete, thanks for coming in. Unfortunately, I imagine that I probably lost most of the people that would have been here. I posted on all the social networks. But it's the wrong link now. Thank you, my love, Kristen. I'll have to go and repair all that later. Just Jason Keto, Canadian Family Life. Good to see you here. I should know better. You know, there's a trick you can use for anybody that does have a channel, especially on YouTube, that wants to stream. You can just put a URL to your channel with the word live at the end, and that will automatically send anybody into your current or upcoming live stream. And that's what I should have been doing. But thank you that much more for everybody that's making it in. This is the one of the casinos. There's two casinos in Niagara Falls, within sort of walking distance from each other, depending on how ambitious you are. There's Skylon Tower, which I love talking about. We're practicing something today. We're practicing not talking endlessly about things that don't matter during a live stream. So we'll see how well I do today. I really need the exercise. That's the main reason why I'm doing this. I feel better, literally, every time I walk for an hour, especially outdoors. So try to do more of this and less of that. Tried to go the other day while it was still packed, long weekend. But I'm surprised how many people are out today still. So I don't know if this is straggling vacationers or just maybe even a small mix of locals. The parking lot where we always go looked absolutely packed again before I got there. People are likely eating late dinners and things right now. Oh, this is where we're going to go after. Niagara Falls. It's down the hill, if you can see that. Autumn is better for tourists. In 9 years, I don't know this still. That's why every time I stream, I rely on Kristen to either give the facts about everything around here or correct me, because I think that I listen. I really do. Oh, I've got some footage. So forgive me because I'm going to have to get this stuff together, and you know what I'm like when I say that. But an unfortunate thing happened the other day, and I'll give you a spoiler alert right now. But I went for a walk, and what I did, because I couldn't get the live stream going, I took Michael's Adventures advice, and I just went and walked with the GoPro. So I did POV, not even with a gimbal or anything. I just put it on my chest and walked, right? So I came this exact way. Up at this intersection coming up here in a minute, there was a car, and it was about to turn right, but there was also a bus in the lane beside it about to turn right. They make wide turns. Bus didn't see the car and crunch. Took the front end right off. And that was not a good day for that person. So, you know, I'm not happy about it, but boy, is it ever an unfortunate thing, because that is right after I walked by the intersection. You just heard it and wondered, oh no, was that what I think it was? And sure enough, oh, buddy's standing outside of his car, and the whole front bumper was just laying on the ground.
Thank you.
Hey, buddy. So thanks everybody for coming in. Corner Clubhouse Cobalt is here. There's Michael's Adventures right there. We're going to look at his channel in another 45 minutes or so. I didn't charge my other phone. So what we do to make this easy on ourselves, those of us who do these outdoor live streams, is we keep a separate phone so that we can watch the chat. It doesn't have to be on any expensive plan or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I tend to knock these things down as cheap as they can go sometimes, and then just pump them back up when I know I'm going to use some data. Let's see if I can catch up with the chat for a quick second, and then I'll get back to walking. Couldn't get Prism to work, couldn't get Streamlabs to work, even had a hard time getting the YouTube app to work on Android, and I must have hit the portrait lock, and I had to ask ChatGPT how to fix it. Pardon me while I fumble around with these phones. Oilers fan forever, good to see you in the house. Thank you for coming in. I knew I was missing somebody, but I couldn't read. Even with my glasses on, I can't see a thing. Had to break out the other phone for that. There's the glorious Skylon Tower. I don't know why I'm so attracted to those things. So I was born, raised, and grew up in Toronto where the CN Tower is, but even the Space Needle fascinates me. And this one, we've been up a couple of times at least. Good news is all this exercise is helping. I'm down like 3 belt notches this season. Kind of no joke. Just gonna put the phone down for a second and get my ducks in a row here, and then we'll get walking again. Thanks again, everyone, for hanging out. Right here was that thing the other day. I'm going to get that footage up. So I had this idea a long time ago. Maybe I'll start a channel called Niagara Insider. And some of you have already subscribed to it because I mentioned it like, I don't know, 3 years ago or whatever it was. And the footage that I got the other day with the GoPro, the idea is to take like maybe 4 or 5 out of the 5 or 6 segments, put them on that channel, and then put one of them on my own channel to cross promote. You can always put them in a playlist, doesn't matter what channel they're on. Pardon me while I fumble around with the gimbal here too. Yellow shirt dad, Gene, good to see you in the house. He had a beach all to himself today. He's had that several times. I really don't know. I keep popping in at odd times, so I can't figure out the story there. Ace Flaw 1, good to see you in the house. Henry Leslie Vermont is here. Rushing Wind Mountain, if I didn't already say hello. So thank you, everybody. I hope I'm not missing anybody. Oh, the Doubletree. Did I just walk by it? I thought I just walked by that. I can't remember which one is which. And then this is another monstrous hotel. I don't think we've stayed there ever. Kristen and I stay sometimes because they do this deal in the later in the fall where it's called Sleep Cheap Charities Reap. The idea is that the big hotels put up great rooms with views and hot tubs and all kinds of stuff. This is the Doubletree. Forgive me, I wasn't sure. Thank you, Jason. But the deal, they put these rooms up for like $75 or something, $70 or whatever it is, and then the charities get the money, which is cool. So we try to get at least one a year. Go in for a cookie. Maybe none of that. Actually, Kristen cooked up a storm again. Meatloaf for dinner today. Everything she does is fantastic. I'll probably go back for seconds when I finish the stream. I'm always hungry after. Kristen's been at it. I don't know what happened. She always has enjoyed cooking and baking, which makes me incredibly lucky, but she has been cooking and baking up a storm basically all summer, I think, at least for a month, but I think this started a couple months ago. At one point there's like everything in the house, between the pretzels and the brownies and the muffins and the banana loaf and the different things. Yeah, I am. I never lived like that before, but the house is like full, or the apartment is full of food all the time. We got one of those kitchen counters where there's just food all over it. We eat it all somehow. Between me taking a handful of things to work now, I try to eat something in between each job. I do 3 or 4, occasionally 5 things a day, and I get to chill or drive for 15 minutes or half an hour in between. Gives me a moment to scarf something down. Many times we've been here, you can imagine it was busier over the weekend, but it's wonderful today. There's no breeze. No breeze here. When we get down to the falls, you're going to see, actually, today might be the angriest that the mist has been. Lots of nice cars. I don't know if you consider that a nice car. I think it sort of is. But lots of like done up and classic and restored car. Look, there's an example right there. I'm perplexed by something here. Maybe they're just getting the sign replaced. That's a nightclub there. There's not much of that around here now. But Club 7 is the one that's still jumping. Yeah, maybe they're just fixing their front sign there. The other one's still there. The lights are on. Still always interested in that stuff. It's an interesting look right before sunset, eh? These lots were $10 to park the other day. Thought about that too. Could you buy a parking lot and then just sit there? Still be raking in cash. I don't know how much longer we're gonna have cash. And run right to the Bitcoin ATM with that. So today I'm streaming on a Samsung Galaxy S24. I ended up with a small collection of devices since starting all of this YouTube so long ago. You hear these electric cars go by, right? Or hybrids or whatever. You know how much foresight they had? If you think about some of the movies that are out there where they had like electric vehicles driving by, and somehow, I don't know if it's 10 or 20 years ago, I'm thinking, they knew these things were going to make that sound. I noticed that the other day, some of these cars, especially when they're driving slowly, right? They got that almost electronic whine to them. But the days of the Jetsons and Back to the Future and everything else is almost here. Humanoid robots will be butlers and maids for all of us at some point, likely. Cars are driving themselves, the drones are delivering things. I would have lost money betting on that 20 years ago while we were scrambling over the power going out in Y2K. Henry Leslie, Vermont. Yeah, and it's funny, not too far away, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, Vermont, as far as I understand, is up here in the northeast-ish, right? Maybe farther than I think. I joke all the time about like school and all the time that's wasted and things like that on things we're not going to use, but boy, do I ever wish I paid attention in geography and history class now. I didn't do terribly, but actually I did do terribly some of the time. I didn't like to do work. Could get 98% on every test, but the regular essays and projects and that kind of stuff didn't appeal to me so much. So now I find myself in my adult life looking at maps way too often, especially since we started YouTube and now have friends from all over the world. 9 hours away. Yeah, I have made many trips to New England, but just Boston, Providence, and Hartford. Boston, I think, was a 9-hour drive. Trying to think of, isn't there a TV show that's done in Vermont? Do they do the one of the tiny home or cottages or cabins? Or am I thinking of a different state? Forgive me if I'm wrong. I like watching some of those. My dad's been watching them. Oh, wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might have gone to Vermont once, but only barely. I have been to the States probably 150 times, maybe even closer to 200, I'm unsure. And all over the Northeast, but only for moments at a time. So I was a DJ and I'd literally like go and do a gig and then I'd have to drive to the next city. And sometimes they were extended drives. So I didn't really get a lot of time to spend. I wanted so badly to spend time in Boston, and I had a video projector for one gig, and as I got out of the van in the morning, it fell and smashed, and I had to spend the whole day trying to look for somebody to repair it. I don't even remember the outcome of the story, but it blew my like only day off. But I did get a chance to go to Cheers at least once. That was important. Boston is a nice city. Antica? Oh, that's the restaurant. A friend of mine tells me about this. Somebody that I work with now that says that when they come to Niagara Falls, they have to go to that restaurant. It's like always on the list, right? So at some point we'll go. I'm going to try to convince a guy to come down and visit, and we'll go eat when his family's here or whatever. But if not, Kristen and I will go, or we'll go when my son comes around or something. You got a part of me for a second. Literally, I just need to stop for a moment. That Ferris wheel, or pardon me, SkyWheel they call it, is something else. And this is go-kart track, right, that I just walked beside. I always talk about this when we're doing these streams, just because I find it so fascinating. This whole street is full of mix of attractions, like even rides. There's a rooftop roller coaster over there. You can almost see the other casino. Kind of behind that light there in almost the middle of the frame here. But then Ripley's owns like half the street. They got lots of stuff. Tell a friend of mine that Montana's is up. You know what they charge per square foot if you want to rent the prime real estate here? Like I bet that building right there where the Montana's restaurant was, $50 a square foot. And when you're renting commercial property, not that I know, but I've learned the smallest bit, is that you multiply that by a year, and then, or it's over a year, and then you divide by 12 and add in taxes and fees and all that stuff. But you can get commercial property for $10 or less. Now we're in Canada, so that works out to $7 or almost $8 American most times, but my goodness, I don't know how you profit. And especially look at Kelsey's right here. This place was able to stay open during COVID because they have the garage doors on all three sides. So they really won. I actually don't think I've been in there still all this time. Lots of people call this like a mini Vegas, just for the look of it. There's so much to do. I know people come for weekends or long weekends, but There's too much to do for that. Honeymoon capital of the world, this is called. Really easy to get hotel nights for less than standard. I don't want to say cheap, but let's say not expensive, because there's so many. So in the off season, when they're not taken up, let's say even after the Canadian Thanksgiving, then you can get them at much more reasonable rates, and there's plenty available. And the whole place is full of a mix of franchises, chains, and independents. They got deals for some of this stuff. You see across the street there, I'm not going to zoom, but you can almost see the price list. They have a special pass, and then there's another one over here as well. That includes the SkyWheel, and then you can go on go and do like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 things. I don't remember how many it is right now. 6 attractions. We've been up there, streamed that once actually. Pete and Kristen remember the details about that more than anybody else, or more than I do. I mean, I actually, since I'm walking here, there's something that I need. Wonder if I should get this right now from the gift shop. They got this thing where they really don't want the staff filmed unless you ask permission and this and that. So maybe I'll save it for another day. We've been in there though for a stream too, at least once. Probably done all of this half a dozen times. I never get tired of it though. I was hiding from the sun and the heat all summer, but wanted to start getting back out a bit. Consume the goodness, good to see you here. Forgive me if I'm missing anybody in the chat. Don Ray B's in the house. Oh, Niagara Falls, yeah. We're in the real tourist area. This is called Clifton Hill. And I think one family owns most of the property here. Ripley's rents half of it, as far as I understand. Oh, did I just delete Yellow Shirt Dad by accident? I hope not. I was tapping on the screen to look at the chat. We're deleting friends. I forget how many times I've told this story, and I said I wouldn't talk endlessly, but I can't help myself, so forget it. So there was a promotion in the early days of Facebook, and I find it to be one of the funniest things ever. So Burger King, if everybody remembers, I know not everybody in the chat will, I'm older than most people I think, but when Facebook first started, it was so much of a big thing for everybody to be adding friends. Everybody's refreshing their friends count every day. How many friends do I have today? And you want more and more and more friends. But Burger King came up with something that was impossible at the time. Some of us will remember that there was these apps and games and stuff on Facebook. Burger King says, we want to do something called the Whopper Sacrifice. And what we're going to do is make people delete their friends. So if I wanted to do that to Yellow Shirt Dad, Gene, what I would do is I would sign up for this Whopper Sacrifice thing. They would give me a free Whopper but he would be deleted as a friend, and he would get a message that says, Kevin likes you, but he loves the Whopper. So he sacrificed your friendship for a free sandwich. And I just think that's incredible. This is cool. I always talk about the Wax Museum because they were really accommodating when I wanted to come and stream. I did the opposite of what we're supposed to do. I actually asked permission instead of forgiveness. And they had somebody from the marketing department come and help do the video so that it would be even better. And it was cool because I could film the things they wanted and avoid the things they didn't want. Relax with Mel, good to see you in the house. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, let's be cruel and ask, who would you, everybody has to answer, who would you delete in the chat for a free Whopper? I'm not offering one, we're just playing for fun. I'm not in the chat, so you can't vote for me. Oh, I always shed a tear for Gypsy Luciano. When I started doing these live streams before COVID, there was a performer down here, Gypsy Luciano. And I used to always stop and watch him, at least for half a song, right? And I think he enjoyed that. I would like to think he enjoyed that so much that he started his own YouTube channel. And then when he did, he was excited to tell me, he's like, hey, look, I started. And he put a little like cardboard on the floor to say, you know, follow me on YouTube. And I thought that was great. So I think his channel's still there. I haven't looked it up in a little while. I looked for it a while back and didn't see anything, but there's lots going on here. Even down this street, there's more. There's more all over the place. Like even down the little alleys and stuff around here, you'll find little gift shops and restaurants and things like that. And then Seneca, Niagara, you can almost see over the trees there, the bright lights, of course. And the sun is sun's due to be gone, I think, just before 8. We're in Eastern, of course. Oh, we still got a little while. I thought we're a little it's earlier than I thought. We're moving faster. Well, that's perfect. We'll get down by the falls. And I think I actually didn't set up Michael's Adventures premiere properly. I can't remember if I did. It doesn't matter. It was in the wrong live stream anyway. So what I'll ask is, if you guys don't mind, for the mods, when it's time, 5 minutes before we're going to end, or 5 minutes before he's going to start, is to drop his link for his premiere. Because I did the same thing. I don't even know how many times I stopped and restarted. I thought I was just about to start, and then the thing said, are you sure you want to abandon your stream? And I'm like, what are you talking about? And within another moment it was gone, and I was whining and complaining. It's interesting look here, right, with the sunset. The clouds were looking really odd today. You see, most of the sky has like nothing going on, and then there's these pockets of clouds like this over here that looks like some kind of a cloud explosion or something. Oh, and the moon's over there. There's a better look at Seneca, Niagara. And thanks for everybody hanging out. Forgive me if I'm missing anybody in the chat. I'll have a look right now and see if I can catch up a little bit. give you a better view while I stand here and stare at my phone. There'll be some kind of a moment where you'll be able to start seeing the lights. I don't know if we'll catch it in this stream because I aimed right for like literal sunset. But you see what happens here. The sun's in the other direction, but we've got like all these trees and the huge buildings and everything else, so it almost feels like the sun has gone much earlier. If that makes any sense. See, there's no wind. The Canadian flag's there, but it's not doing anything. Oh goodness, everybody in the chat is hurting themselves. I hope not. Did I not know in all this time that there's a Starbucks right there too? Or is that what they were building? That's what they were working so hard on for a while there, to get that thing open. There was all this construction here. Let's see what that was. I never get tired of looking at this. Oh, and that is a cool thing too. I saw something that said a balloon theater ride. Is that right? Kristen might understand what that thing is. That is like so enormous, it's scary. I think I can see a line coming from the ground so that it doesn't sail away. I don't know if you can see that in the video or not. But yeah, I don't know when that got added. The horn blower and the Maid of the Mist have stopped for the day. I don't know what time they finish. Not sure if the zip line will be going. Oh, past Life Explorer. Good to see you in the house. That's a long-time friend. I think Explorer's been here from the beginning with the Tuber Chat family, about 5 years if I'm not mistaken. For anybody that does make it here, this is the magic spot for the fireworks, because they shoot them from down at the bottom of the hill or mountain or whatever we call this. So they end up kind of right in front of you. I did stand here and film that once, and it was perfect. Perfect views. I chopped it into shorts and every other thing. That must be it, Just Jason Keto. I bring it every day. Kelly, good to see you in the house. Since the beginning, Past Life Explorer. The whole Tuber Chat thing started 5 years ago. It's a little bit longer now. Pretty soon I'm going to have to start saying 5.5 years. And most of us here are part of that family, which of course I appreciate. Still strong and solid, thank goodness. I'll have to rewatch some of this after and see how the stability is for Kristen's gimbal here. The Osmo 5 I hadn't used until today. Niagara Falls, yeah, on the Canadian side. This is where all the action is. They got a few things on the American side. I haven't been like around there to know, but they got some lookout things like this lookout bridge here. They got something down there over on the right-hand side of the Bridal Veil Falls, which is the little piece on the side beside the American Falls here. And The Canadian Falls, or Horseshoe Falls as they're called, are down the other way, but Canada gets the view. So this city and area is called the honeymoon capital of the world, literally. If you remember, I'm convinced that I remember seeing the Price is Right giveaway trips for people to go to Niagara Falls. I could be wrong, you guys can correct me, but how will ever figure that out with, what is it, 50 years? Or I don't know how long that show's been going on. I don't know how old I was when I found out that Bob Barker wasn't the first host. Learning every day. You'll notice after we pass this little bit here, there's really not a lot of light for a while. And I believe that go on the falls between the two things every day at 10 p.m. But when the sun is down, I've done some night streams too, but it gets crazy dark. She stole my thunder. Good to see you in the house. You can hear the sound of the falls, right? We can actually hear that from our window in our apartment because we're close enough. It is some powerful. I did literally think that Bob Barker was the first host of Price is Right, but I guess there's a few things in life that have gone on longer than I thought they did. Music is one. I was a DJ for 25 years. I worked at the most popular radio stations in Toronto. I was obsessed, a music junkie. And I still have been learning about songs in the last couple of years that I found out were remakes of remakes of remakes. Things that I thought in the 80s or 90s were brand new songs. Turns out all along, nope. The whole reason we probably liked them so much is because they'd been done at the beginning of the 70s. Yeah, it's nice white noise, that's for sure. Forgive me for anything I'm missing in the chat. Yeah, Kristen's got a milestone birthday next year too. Too little time, yeah. I know at least half the people here have probably played with this system, that AI music creation system. What's the license for that? I think it's like 26 songs a week or something that you can make if you pay for it. It's like ridiculous. There's so much music that's coming out now that if artists had it difficult or tough before, I don't even know what everybody's going to do now. And I don't want to be negative. I'm just saying it is like we went from hundreds of thousands of songs a week being made by humans to now probably millions by AI. And that's only going to get better and better. What a beautiful view. What a perfect day. Look at me making progress, going for 2 walks in 1 week. I got a liver guy. My liver guy threatened me with Ozempic in January. And I said, no, one more chance. I promise I'll do something. And I didn't. I sat in a chair for 4 months. And then I got a new full-time gig, and must have been just in time, because now I do a little bit of work, no harder than anything I did before, but more walking. I don't do 10,000 steps a day or anything like that, but this should top it off once in a while. Yeah, I almost thought about going to get it too. My hairdresser went on Ozempic, and she is so thin, you would never know that she ever had any weight on her, ever. And so I see the appeal. I tend to not like anything like that. I'm very lucky at my age to not have any medication of any kind, but I am right on the line for a couple of things, I'm sure. So hence the liver guy. Nothing's wrong, but that's why I have a liver guy, to make sure that I stay on the side of nothing's wrong. Try to keep it that way. We stayed in a few of these hotels. Kristen's gotten some good videos here. I've gotten a couple, but she does a better job than I do when we have these rooms and thinks about getting footage. The glorious Skylon Tower. I can't help but just stare at this thing over and over. Wasn't watching the time. 5 minutes. If I can, just ask, Kristen's in the chat, if you don't mind, just drop Michael's Adventures premiere link, unless Pete's probably already got it, I don't know, but I will appreciate it. I didn't think of that. I wasn't sure whether I set it up properly in the first place. Thank you, Pete. I figured he would probably have already had it ready to go. I wonder if I can pin that from the thing. Can't seem to pin it from the app while I'm streaming. I'm using YouTube's app, not Streamlabs or anything this time. There we go. See how angry that mist is. You can feel that mist all the way where I started the stream, which is up the hill beside those. I pointed out that casino when we walked by it, for those of you who were here in the beginning. That mist is literally flying that far. Actually, you know what I'll do? Why don't I hang out when I start to feel it? We'll ride out the rest of the stream until Michael's gets moving. Jason just dropped a video before we came out, so hopefully everybody will check that out. He puts out a special video once a year. Today was the day. I don't even know if the lights are on right now for the falls. We'll have to look. You can spend lots of money there if you want. Glorious falls. I always say I'll try to get out here and do more of these, so Why break the tradition now? I'll try to get out here and do more of these. We haven't been to the U.S. for a while. Kristen and I have gone over, like, Seneca, Niagara. It's probably the reason I mention it all the time. I don't know any of the other buildings over there. But the casino that you can see behind the American Falls there, we've been to. We went there the night of the Olive Garden story that I like to tell when we went for a anniversary. We don't have Olive Garden, so it's a special occasion to us. And we might be getting some Olive Gardens back. This is what I hear. I don't know the truth. I don't know how the moon got all the way over there so fast. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. Michael's Adventures is dropping a premiere in a moment, so you won't be flipped over there automatically, but hopefully you'll click that link that Pete dropped. We'll see everybody again soon. Thanks everyone.